I'm going to tell you basically, I think, a funny story that encapsulates the television industry and sort of the entertainment and where we are now and how different it is to when I started 10 years ago. So I started, really thinking about, the topic of influencing. It's such a broad topic as it applies to television producers and content. And as Danielle said, it's the thing that drove me into entertainment was telling stories, and it was making people laugh and having the ability to influence such a broad group of people and have a personal experience like that. So, of course, I leave college going, okay, how am I going to break into the entertainment industry? So at the time, I sort of was lucky. I had sort of a network of people who could give me a lot of advice, and the advice sort of was consistent at that time. It was, you start at the bottom, you start at the mailroom, you start, you start at a desk, and I know that there's some agents in here in this room right now who are going to totally appreciate this story. So, so you start there. So there I am. I start at the bottom. I get to Hollywood. I end up in the mailroom at an agency called United Talent Agency. I mean, super exciting, major talent, Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Jack Black. I mean, all of those people that just make me laugh, inspire me. Can't wait to dig my heels in and get super stoked about what I'm gonna be doing in the future and how I'm gonna conquer Hollywood. Yes, cue laughter. So anyway, so I started at the bottom. So I learned three things super quickly when I got to UTA. One is entertainment is a business. It is about money. It is not just all the fluffiness of telling great stories. It's a big business. And not only is a business, it's quite a closed business. All of those things that I love, that the film and the TV, were basically curated for me by a handful of network executives and studio executives, buying from a handful of producers, all represented by a bunch of agents sitting in the room that I was in. So that's cool. Secondly, the agency is boot camp mixed with a fraternity. So it's sort of like this hazing thing that if you make it through, if you sort of buy your time, if you make it, the gates of Hollywood will open up to you and you will be the master. That's the promise, and you have to believe that wholeheartedly. And thirdly, and I think this is what sort of drove me to tell this story, is that influence is currency in Hollywood. Influence is the thing, it's the difference between getting your movie made, it's the difference between getting your client cast. Oh my God, my mouth is really dry. Does anyone have water? Thank you, there we go. This is why I'm behind the camera, usually. Okay. It's the difference between getting your movie made. It's the difference between getting the big office in the corner. It's the difference between getting the new title. It is everything. And what sort of shocked me, out of my stupor of being so excited to be in the mailroom at UTA, was the lengths that people will go to influence is sort of incredible. So here is my story. I one day get called down to the mailroom, and I'm going to change the names of this story because I know you guys use some real celebrity names, but I'm not going to well, I'll tell you all afterwards who the real names are. But for the sake of this, at the same time, once the cameras are off, I will tell you, because I do value my job because I love it. For the sake of this, at the same time, I started a little show called Entourage had started, which was basically the basis of my research for knowing what my job was going to be, was watching all the episodes I could of Entourage. So for the sake of this story, the agent is going to be Ari, and the talent is going to be Vincent Chase, okay? So I get called down to the mailroom. There is an emergency that I have got to basically overcome, and I have a big task. So Ari wants to put Vince up for a ninja movie. The ninja movie is major studio. It is the next big blockbuster. Ari's already promised the studio executive Vince is in, right? He can't convince Vince. Vince is like, I'm taking it serious. I'm not doing a fucking ninja movie, dude. It's not gonna happen. So Ari's like, well, you know what? Vince is an actor. How am I gonna influence him to do this? You know what? I'm gonna get him a ninja costume. a super authentic ninja costume that like, it will totally inspire him to take on this role. It's like the thing. So they got him like the suit, like the mask, some nunchucks, and but there's like a key element to this costume that's missing, which are Chinese throwing stars. Like, it's impossible. Vince will not do this movie. It will not be inspired to like take on this role if he can't get these throwing stars. So my job, as you can guess, is to get the throwing stars. Okay, it's lunchtime on like a Friday. So a couple things that I found out in the pursuit of this. One, Chinese throwing stars are illegal in California. Like, you can't get them. Because I started to be like, well, I'll get to Vegas, it's fine. I'm sure you can find anything there. And they're like, no, the other thing is that you have to have them by 6 o'clock today because Vince is leaving. He's going to his next film. If he doesn't get them today, it's over. And actually, if you don't get them today, you probably just shouldn't come back. Like, no joke. Okay, so here I am. I'm ready to go. I have no other choice but to make my way to Chinatown, right? Like, where else am I going to try to find like Chinese throwing stars in like in Los Angeles? So I, of course, am like, I need backup in this situation. So I grab another like compadre out of the mailroom. We book it downtown. He's got a Prius, so I thought that was like a good idea to have him like be my partner. I don't know why. So we get downtown, and just in the agency world, especially in the mailroom, like it's business sort of casual. It's not even casual. It's business smart. Okay. So you were in, I was in at least some kind of like Ann Taylor Gap ensemble, with like sensible slacks and like a button-up shirt. And as was my buddy Perry, he might have been an Ann Taylor as well. And we like rock up. I'm like, okay, we're headed. Obviously, we're gonna go to like those like tchotchke stores. Like certainly they've got something in there. So we go up, we're like, hey, this very lovely lady comes up and she's like, can I help you? And I was like, yes, actually you can. I'm looking for Chinese throwing stars. And she literally shoved me out the door. She's like, no, those are illegal here. We don't carry them, get out of my store. This happened 17 times at every store. There was like a shakedown in Chinatown for fucking throwing stars. And I'm like literally walking the streets like, I'm gonna lose my job over Chinese throwing stars for a fucking movie star. And I'm like, my Hollywood dreams are over. My life is over. I'm literally doing like the thing where you're like, I'm gonna move my mom back to Ohio where I'm from, and I'm probably can sell like insurance or something. That seems like a really sensible career there. Like, it's cool. I'll work this out. It's fine. So I'm like super downtrodden and walking through this like open air market. Cue. And I get to this woman and she's like selling woks. And we look pathetic. In fact, he looks super pathetic because I like made him take off his shirt and put on like an I Love LA t-shirt or something. So he looked like a tourist. Like, we look pathetic. And she's like, can I help you? Like, do you want to walk? And I was like, no, lady, I don't want to walk. I want Chinese throwing stars for Vincent Chase. And she's like, Vincent Chase? Aquaman, okay. Like, she takes a walk off. She takes off the cardboard and she draws me a map where she goes, you're here, go down this alley, turn right here, turn left there, knock on this door, ask for Jing Wong. And I like, it's like 4 o'clock, it's like 4:30. Okay, so it's like deadline time. They've been checking in. It's go time. Like, you gotta get, like, I don't care if she's taking me into like Chinese prostitution. Like, I am going to that door. So I like run, we sprint, we like knock on the door, we get there, dude pops out and he sees us and I'm like holding up my cardboard sign like it's current, like it's gonna get, it's like my ticket in there. I was like, this lady, but he's just like, come in, please, like get out of the street. And I look around and it's like a handbag store. I was like, oh fuck, I was like, she got it, like she misheard me. And as I'm like, just like literally so sad, this guy goes behind the counter and he opens up like a fake wall. It's not a wall of purses, it's an armory. And I like walk in the door And I've never seen anything like it. It was samurai swords. It was like, you know those clubs that have like a thing on the end that you can like swing like this and like behead somebody? Like those were in there. I mean, guns, like I've never seen anything like it. And we literally are like shaking, and he's like, what do you want? And I was like, Chinese throwing stars. And he pulls out this book, and it's like, and it's like all the Chinese throwing stars you've ever seen in your entire life. And I like throw the petty cash at him, and I take my like 3 stars that it bought me. And we sprint back to UTA. We are like, oh my God, we did it. Hollywood is ours. This is amazing. Like Vince is gonna be in this movie. Oh my God, this is like the best thing. We are heroes. I don't know how many times we high-fived. Like, it was amazing. We get in there, we run up to the office, to the desk. And then the lights are kind of low. It's like a little after 6. And the assistant's there, and he's like, look, he sees us, and he's like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, Ari left. So I should have told you, the movie's dead. The movie's dead. And when I tell you who the real actor is, because this really happened, you'll go, yeah, he was never in a ninja movie. But anyway, the point of that sort of story, okay, is that at the time I started 10 years ago, Hollywood was like this. It was super closed. And if you wanted to tell stories and you wanted to be creative, there was a path that you took to get there. And it usually started with doing some menial task and some crazy thing to sort of influence someone else. But I look at that today, and it's like, especially as a TV executive, it's so different. The world is so different. You know, like if you want to tell a story, if you want to be creative, you can do it. Anybody can do it. I mean, how many like Vine stars are there, YouTube stars are there, Twitter, the Michelle fans of the world. So it got me thinking like how different that my path might be now to be able to get into entertainment. And I'm so lucky and I love it. Like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't trade it for the world, and plus I have that sweet story to tell for the rest of my life. I also have another one about accidentally eating pot that is like for later, like I'll tell you that later. But, at my boss's house in his fridge. Anyway, it's a long story. But is that, you know, I think if that kid in Ohio is like, I want to be creative, he can do it, she can do it, and it's a changing world, and hopefully they can do it without having to get Chinese throwing stars for a ridiculous celebrity. That's it.